Yeah.
So this is it. This is a big stinky statement that's going to make people hate me. Here it is. If the business is not committed to human flourishing, it's a racket.
Allow me to introduce you as
Sure.
Dennis Mosley-Williams. So you are the founder of Dennis Williams Mosley Strategic Consulting.
That's right.
So in fact, actually, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do for your day job? This is kind of like a side gig for you, coming to conferences and talking. You do a fantastic job, obviously, but
It sort of became that, yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, I'm the founder of Dennis Mosley-Williams Strategic Consulting. We're a boutique consulting firm, and we work with predominantly financial advisors who want to create more value for their clients by innovating around customer experience, design, and staging. Increasingly, we are looking beyond experience. We're looking at the transformation economy. We are advocating for the evolution of the role of the advisor. As I said from stage, an advisor is an expert that tells you what to do for a fee. Pretty simple. And I suggest that no, advisors need to be guides. They need to be advocates, a champion for a cause or a policy. And to change your business from something that I buy from you to I buy into you. I accept that I can get financial planning everywhere, including online, and that it's all lovely and wonderful and affordable. I'm saying become something more.
Yeah.
Which is a big idea, human transformation, aspirations beyond financial planning. And along the way, I wrote a book called Serious Shift. And a million years ago, somebody said, hey, could you come and speak at our conference on this? And I said, yes. It never occurred to me that this in itself would become what it did. But
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing for a long time. My partner, Tom Frisbee, does all the consulting side of things. And today, just this fun little thing, I met a whole bunch of clients of mine I've never met in real life today.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I said, now, what do you think of Tom? And they're like, oh my God, that guy. And I said to the sort of the third person in the conversation who's unaware of who we all are, I said, my partner's nothing like me. Yeah.
One thing that I think is so kind of as you were talking for your presentation, one thing I was thinking about in the back of my head is like one of the things that I tell my clients when I talk about like why the market goes up over time is evolution has almost changed.
Yeah.
Like no longer do we evolve by growing an extra thumb, right? Or like getting something that like we evolve by like innovating, right?
That's
Innovation is new human evolution. So like you said, Homo technicus.
Technicus, yeah.
Homo technicus, like at this point, our evolution is making better technology that we can integrate with who we are and what we do to make us even more effective, right?
Even correct. Not only does technology help us be more effective, get things done quicker, and all kinds of stuff, now increasingly it's to help us become a better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like I said, like traditionally in business, if you want to create more value for clients, you make a better product, you make a better service. That's how we do it. It doesn't rattle anymore. It's better. It costs a little bit more, but we fix that weird hinge or whatever the hell it is. Oh, the service, it does this now, it updates itself. It's better and better. Well, now everything's amazing. So how do you create value now? And the question is, it's not the product, it's not the service. We create value by who we turn the client into.
Yeah.
So think in your line of work, it's behavioral finance even. Helping people understand they're thinking about money. Helping clients eliminate all kinds of arguments, needless arguments you've had about money because you're both thinking a little goofy about it. So if the advisor can help them find some common ground, right? It's like, how's that for a value prop? Not only am I going to make you some money and do this, I can decrease your arguments by 39% over the next 37 years together. How about that? Sign me up.
I always tell clients that one of my objectives is if you lived two lives, one where you met me and one where you didn't meet me, I want the one where you met me to be a better life.
That's right.
Right? That's simply put. And how we define better might change depending on the person. You know, like you get some. I always pick on the engineers. You know, because a lot of financial advisors get real ticky-tack about the engineers. A lot of engineers don't like to pay financial advisors. Why do I need you?
Of course.
But a lot of the engineers that I know would also save their entire life to have this big pile of money left at the end of and they would say, hey, I never paid a financial advisor. Look at how much money I have to show for it. And I would say, but did you live the life you could have lived along the way?
Correct.
That's a hard fact.
I think,
Yeah.
the truth is, me looking at those engineers, sometimes I want to say to them, the truth is you're going to have less money because of me, not more. And you're going to be happier for it.
I think what's happened with financial planning, and this is sort of what is hopefully hammered home on stage there, is as a people change, their needs and wants as consumers change. So, we make fun of Gen Z.
Yeah.
Right? We make fun of them. Maybe they just got something figured out that we didn't. I think they're just smarter than us, myself. We think about things our fathers and grandparents never thought about. So this is what I think now. Any aspect of your client's life, any aspect, that they feel is related to their wealth, or in this case, well-being. The first one, it was well-being that they distilled down to wealth. Any aspect, I'm your client now, any aspect of my life that is related to my well-being, my sense of well-being, that I feel requires attention, that's now your responsibility. That's what I believe. So I'll give you a little scenario, because sometimes people will push back on that. Let's say we just have a financial planning meeting and I'm walking out of your office, you've walked me to the front door, we've had this amazing experience, and you just say, hey, Dennis, is there anything else I can do for you, buddy? Anything? And I say, yeah. Just as an offhand comment, I say, you can help me find a trainer, man. Whew. Didn't ski enough this winter, got a little squishy, what have you. If you happen to know a trainer, and you could say, wait a second, you know what, I actually have a great trainer. In fact, my trainer worked with my wife first, then me, we both love him. Do you want to know him? You're a hero. What if you don't know the trainer? So what do you say? You find me a trainer, oh, good luck with that, and you let me leave.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is a big stinky statement that's going to make people hate me. Here it is. If the business is not committed to human flourishing, it's a racket.
Yeah.
If you're a financial advisor and I say, and I'm thinking about one person who roasted me on LinkedIn over this, bitter.
Well, now they're going to get their
comment
shot.
section.
Now they're going to get their shot on
So
YouTube.
I said, this is something my dad told me, okay? So my dad was this really lovely man. And
Terry, right?
no, Gerald.
Gerald, yeah.
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 Geraldo. And early on when I got started in this, maybe he could see I was a little impressed by the people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, people can do very well as a financial advisor. So it's like, maybe he could see me getting seduced. Mm-hmm. So he goes, well, wait, and he says, let me tell you something, Dennis. My father was a wholesaler for footwear, had Canada and looked after all kinds of companies and stuff. He goes, all these people in the rooms that you're with, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter how much they make or what their title is, or how impressive they seem. They're just people. Oh yeah, Dad, yeah. He goes, I can see him doing it. He went, and if you scratch them, just under the paint, they are suffering. That's what he said. He goes, and your job is to heal them. That's what he told me. Your job is to heal them. Okay, so I put that out one day and oh my God, did I catch heat? Because nobody wants to do that. That idea of any aspect of my well-being is nobody wants that. Yeah. They want to automate, they want to make things easier, they want to look after the money and not go anywhere else. Okay, so I'm going to update my statement and say it again. No. Any business that is not committed to human flourishing is a racket. If you are selling something to a client and you know it's not going to do them any good, you're putting profits over the person, that's a racket. Mm-hmm. So if I am a miserably depressed person and I am deeply unhappy and you can see it while you're looking at me over the desk, what's all that money going to do for me?
Matter. Yeah.
Like you mentioned engineers a minute ago.
Yeah.
My joke about engineers is don't work with engineers. They don't have any money and they don't have any friends. However, in the case of a person like that hoarding cash and missing the point, that's not their problem. That's your problem. Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, Jim, I can't let you do this. You're doing this all wrong. You need to be thinking abundantly. You need to think this way. So I truly believe that. This is this business. That's what it is. Human flourishing. Think about families. Why do families exist? So everybody can flourish. That's why. That's why what the point I was trying to make in my human evolution story is it's always been about flourishing, even when 1 million years ago. The whole way through it's like, let's stick together. We're going to get there together. We're going to flourish together. And now we've reached this point where we're basically living in space. The entire world's amazing. I'm carrying things in my pocket that were cartoons when I was a kid. FaceTime, Dick Tracy, not before my time obviously, but not Star Trek. Jim Kirk looking at Spock talking, like that stuff, we never would have believed that. Well, here we are. Life imitates art. Here it is. We've got all that stuff. It's not about the stuff. It's about us now. And we need a guide or an advocate, as I said on stage, to help us achieve our personal aspirations, not our financial goals, what we want and who we want to become. That's the world. That's the business. What a rewarding business it is, too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of advisors that are probably off track. You know, you did that survey in the presentation about like how well do you know your clients, and I can't remember which one won. There was a race between somewhat and very well.
Yeah.
And you basically mentioned, one note that I took down was like, know your client's religion. You mentioned that you asked somebody about bicycling, and you said,
oh yes,
there was a religion to him.
Yes.
And that was what I took away. It's like, well, do I know my client's religion?
Yeah. And there's something in that. He was a cyclist.
Yes.
And I could just sort of sense this kind of kinship with him around that. And I share that I'm a skier. But it's like, for me, it's like, it's not just skiing, it's everything. And I am completely immersed in it, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, it is like a religion to him. It's not a sport.
Yes.
He finds deep meaning in it. What is that meaning?
Yeah.
What is that meaning? And what does it mean to his life?
What do people like me and Brent and everybody else here at the Financial Planning Association conference, what do they do with that information? So let's say I know that you're a skier. How do I make your life more meaningful in our relationship, our working relationship together?
Okay. Well, it could be as simple as using your CRM to make sure that on a quarterly basis you send me an article of interest, and you're sharing, you're saying, look, this guy's all about skiing. Let's just figure out, let's use AI to figure out where he could go, all the ski hills that are closer to Ottawa, or should he go to Japan next year? Japanuary is what we skiers call it, or Japao. Because you got this great snow, and January is the month to go, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, demonstrating, seen, understood, involved, and belong, you could just demonstrate it, that you're aware on a regular basis, and that works. But let me go a little deeper. What if, imagine a scenario where you sign on a new client, and you've done an excellent job, as I mentioned, this sort of elaborate onboarding process. And the very next thing you do with your client after they sign the papers and stuff is you help them write a personal manifesto. What you're about, like, so use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it is to help you create a booklet, questionnaire, what have you, and you say, listen, this is your assignment. I need you to fill this out. And it asks them all their questions about who they are and what they want to do and what matters. And then you turn all of that into this beautiful personal manifesto that you then posterize and frame and bring to their home, or mail if you have to, but bringing it is better. And it hangs in their house, and it's like, I got the financial plan in place, and now we know what the hell we're all trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, my personal aspiration is to ski 12 months a year. Okay, literally. It's a term that's not very nice, but in the outdoors community, it's a great term. I want to be a dirtbag.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
So look, I just want to ski all the time. It is a person who sort of pushes traditional employment and creature comforts away so that they can pursue fully their passion. That's what I want to be. Okay?
Yeah.
That. So if you looked at me and said, okay, well, let's look at Dennis's life. We got a financial plan for Dennis, and it moves left to right. Here we are today. Here's what he has. Here's what he owes. Here's what he earns. And we go this way. There you go. And one day you'll be here, and you'll die, and you'll win. Yay. Okay. What about a life plan? Goes the other way. Starts to the right, goes to the left. So it starts with, I'm a dirtbag. Okay, what does that look like? I should probably stop saying that because it's going to turn people off. And they won't take us seriously. So forgive me. I am a full-time passionate skier who skis 12 months a year. When it's summer in Canada, I go to Argentina. Okay, and I get it done, and I see the whole world, and I love it. Okay, great. And my wife and I would love to own a camper van, like a Sprinter van. And I joke with Sherry all the time that I'm going to paint on the outside of the camper van Sherry's wooden dowels. Okay, something nobody would ever want to steal. Totally like incommunicado, undercover stealth camper van, which I will occasionally park and just stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
The other dirtbags don't need to. I don't need to lose my credibility. So let's start at the end. Vision recognized. Skiing so many days a year. Travels, does this. Owns his house. Does all these things. Okay, you're a financial advisor. Okay, so you look at the end and go, okay, wait a second. Now let's go back one step. So Dennis, let's strike that. Owns his own house. Dennis, this is legit. Are you gonna? What are you gonna do one day? Your kids are gonna grow up. Are you gonna keep living on Cowley Avenue? No, I'm gonna blow that house out. I just rent a condo and pay heavy rent. I don't even care. I'll have all the money I saved, plus I just sold my house and I threw that in the pile too. I'll pay rent. So you're writing down two things now. That's the last step. Is I'm skiing all the time. Go back one. This is the stage just before. Dennis going to sell his house. Financially, what am I going to need? Real estate agent. Okay, plus I'm going to inherit. Rather, I'm going to take that $1 million plus off the table and invest it for you. Okay, go back another one. The van. What van? How are you going to pick the van? You going to test drive it? You're going to own one for a while? And I realized, oh, geez, I don't know. So for anybody at home, the website is faroutride.com. It'll tell you what van you want. Okay? Now.
Faroutride.com.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Two people that run it. They're a couple. They are engineers. We've made fun of them once already, so we're going to throw them a rose now. They're also photographers. They're artists. So not only is it the best laid out website you've ever seen, it's really good looking. Okay, now, if you keep tracing that all the way back, this is your question. How do I connect with you on skiing? How do I bring value? So we know my youngest daughter is 14 years old. I figure I'm capital D dad for 10 more years. I can't blow out of town little Mia until she's launched, right? So I'm home doing my thing. But if you march me all the way back so I see it, and you've identified all the things I'm going to need to do, plus the things you're going to need to do for me, this is great. Now we get down to today. And you just say this. So, have you done a dirtbag trip ever yet? Right? And I say, well, I ski like 30 some days a winter, and I fly out to Alberta, and I ski at Banff, and I go to this place east of Quebec City, which I'm not going to share the name of it because it's my secret stash.
Yeah.
And I do this, but if you said, no, have you ever gone on a 5, 6, or 7 day road trip, ski trip, where maybe you sleep in the parking lot like you think you want to do? And when you go to ski hills, I don't know if you do, there's dirtbags. You see them. They're usually retired guys, hanging out, barbecuing. So if you said to me, look, I'm going to use ChatGPT. I live in Ottawa, Canada. Here's where you can go on a road trip. You can go down to Jay Peak into Vermont. You can go over this way. You can head over to Sunday River, a place I really like in New Hampshire. You can check this out. Then you're going to go north to Quebec City places, and then you're going to come home. And you're making my aspiration. I get to go live it for 1 week, and it's just you that showed me how to put it all together.
Yeah.
So there's two parts. One is that's what we're going to do today, but the other is that lifing plan. Begin at the end. This is who's Dennis going to be when he doesn't own a house, got money to invest. He's going to need this. He's going to need a real estate agent. I'm going to have to, it's down the road, but now fast forward. You're going to find me the person to show me condos to live in. You're going to come up with my financial plan. You're going to say in those dollars, I know $6,500 sounds like a lot of money to pay in rent. It might feel like you're throwing it away. This was your plan. There's the manifesto. Here's the financial plan. Here's the life plan. Fella, you got plenty of money to pay your rent.
That's what it's for.
That's what it's for.
So I'm going to interpret what you're saying to transcend the commodification that AI delivered advice is going to cause. That's one thing you did make clear in your presentation was that it's going to commoditize financial planning.
Absolutely.
In order to transcend that, there's an obligation to really understand your clients and to speak their language.
Yeah.
So not only if, like, let's say you and I had a client relationship, I would need to know and understand what it means to be a dirtbag.
That's right.
And communicate that with you.
You need to literally, that's so well said. Yeah, you got to soak in that.
Yeah.
Just like I asked that guy, tell me what it is that why does it matter to you? I don't go skiing. I'm borrowing this quote from this guy named Fred Becky. He's America's most successful athlete ever.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it.
I know.
Yeah, neither have I.
Okay, so let me put it this way, and I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. Works like this. Fred Becky, Michael Jordan's down here.
Okay.
Nobody can touch Fred Becky. He's like Coca-Cola. There's no touching him. The Cola Wars is marketing. It's not even close. Fred Becky, they made a documentary about him. It's my favorite movie. You know what it's called? Dirtbag. He is the godfather of the dirtbag movement, if I may. He's a mountain climber. Fred Becky has summited mountains beginning when he was 17 years old that some people have never gone back to.
Oh, wow.
He started, as you're wearing desert boots.
Yeah.
I have a photo of Fred Becky that you can look him up online, everybody. You'll find the same picture. He's on a mountain, handsome dude back in the day, climbing mountains, not hills. He's not doing a scramble. He's climbing legit mountains in desert boots because they didn't have climbing shoes when he got started. He got brought into World War II. His job was training soldiers to climb mountains. Okay? Fascinating cat. In this quote, the guy says, "Why do you climb mountains?" And his answer is, he says, I'm glad you asked because that answers one of your questions. For me, mountain climbing answers all my questions. Okay? And when I read that, they say I got chills. It's like, you need to understand the motivations of your clients. I don't go skiing because it's a fun pastime. That's why I go to movies. That's why I go to see a rock band or whatever. It's a fun thing to pass a few hours. I go skiing because there's meaning in there for me in everything I do. It's not just, we're going to go cruise. We're going to get bikes riding around Europe when we retire. It's like, awesome. That's all great for you. That's all great. I'm going to go skiing because it's a thing. It's the most intimate relationship with nature I can have. That's why I do it. So yeah, you got to know it. You got to totally get it. Tom and I refer to this as the moment. That's what we call it. So we'll say like, Ben had his moment the other day. Oh, and this is what that means for everybody listening. The moment. Okay. So, financial advisors and I sort of have the same job. People show up with all kinds of money and all kinds of questions, and they need somebody to organize it. For you, it's investments and statements and life insurance, and I got a pension and a house and a mortgage and money. I make this, all that stuff. People show up at my desk, and all that money is called revenue and overhead and expenses and career and all this stuff in their business, and they want us to organize it. Just like you see it happen. You fixed it. What did you say to me before we got started? People like me because they say I get as excited about their situation as they are, right? You see them transform. They come in and it's Brent, I just got problems, worries, and you fix all of that. And when the moment it's fixed, you see it. And what do they start thinking about now? Now you don't have your money to worry about. Now you start thinking about, I haven't seen my sister in a while. We haven't done that thing, right? Same thing in my world. The moment, Tom will say, Ben had his moment. Oh yeah, what happened? We fixed your business, and for the first time ever, you're able to pull your head out of it, so to speak. It's okay, so this is all good. And then you turn your attention immediately to that little quiet voice, that one that's telling you, just as a pulling out of the air, you gotta spend more time with children.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, when we run a financial plan, one of the things that I hope you get out of it is we can start to remove some of the anxiety and the fear that's driving your everyday decision making, and we can create some space so that you can ask yourself the questions that you've been meaning to ask yourself.
Correct.
Because what you see with clients as you go through this planning process, and it's not I'm envious that you can define it as like a moment, but I think for me and the clients that I work with, it's like you go through this process and it might take days, weeks, months, maybe years sometimes, but you start to, shift who you're talking to and who you're working with and help them stop making decisions for the wrong reasons.
Correct.
Right? And by helping them understand that they're going to be okay, they can start making decisions for the right reasons. And then
Yep.
you can start, kind of like you said, once you can get them out of living in the fear day to day, you can start to think about, well, what does the end really look like? And what does that mean for what we need to do today? So
that scarcity to abundance shift, right?
Yeah.
Wealth isn't a big pile of money. That's just a tool. I mean, you've read the same stats I have, something that they ask people like, how much money do you think you need to be happy? Okay, and the number's like $3 million. Okay.
3 to 7, right?
Yeah, but then
it varies wildly by generation.
Then they interview all these people who are actually identify as I'm a really happy person. They go, how much money you got? They go, 538,000 or whatever the hell it is. Okay, so there's this, and there's two things that we talked about. The second one was that lifing thing, as Tom and I call it, building back. And the first was that personal manifesto. So I have one that hangs on the wall in my office. And intentionally, I make sure just enough of it can be seen on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Where the font has exploded down on the bottom and it says, life is short. I get so many questions about that. Of course, that's what's hanging there. Sure. By design. What is that? So, you can change your cameras. They go, okay, look, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes thing. I change to my handwriting camera if I want to diagram something. So I go, look, you're going to see my jacket on the chair and all this stuff, but I'm going to let you look at this. And I adjust the camera and I switch so they can read it. I have had people that I don't know that are business people get emotional reading my personal manifesto.
Yeah.
Okay, literally. And then I ask, loaded question, you ever do this with your clients? No. They go, but shouldn't that be the first thing you do? Like, okay, we got this figured out. We're going to solve all these money problems, okay? Imagine now you follow that up with, but the biggest problem you think you have isn't the problem you have. This was a huge problem to you, but I just fixed it. The biggest problem you have is purpose. And my evolution talk I did in there, at one time purpose was surviving. Right. Now we don't have to survive. Everything's handed to you. You can order food to your house. You don't have to leave. You can work from home. My God. We're all walking around without purpose. You got to connect your clients to their purpose. And if their purpose is, I really just want to go around the world while I can and ski at different countries and do this and live it and love it. It's like, that's your job. You figure that out.
But how do you figure out what their purpose, oftentimes they don't know their purpose.
Well, you help them figure that out with the right questions.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
And it's still more difficult to find purpose with so much luxury.
That's right.
Yeah, you get. I find like DoorDash has a lot of distractions, so it's tough to find purpose. I find a lot of people find their purpose in moments of suffering.
That's
a very uncomfortable truth, but
because that's what it's what makes you. It forces introspection. Mm-hmm. So and this is the funniest thing. Like you take purpose early on. You meet a client, and their purpose is raising their kids and saving their money and paying off their mortgage. Like if you look at all these things we do, I'm always really sad when people get divorced, okay? Mm-hmm. Especially, in general, it's a very sad thing, and I make no judgment, I'm just saying, sad. It's even more sad, sometimes I think, what are you divorcing for now? You won. You raised your kids, you got some cash, everything's A-okay, you've been married so long that even if you divorce now, you're going to each other, one of you is going to go to the other one's funeral.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so here's what you don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
You lost sight of that. Your purpose was, let's just feed these kids, get through the day, get some money and save some dough. Mm. So you're here, suddenly nobody needs you, and you're left looking at each other. It's like, oh my God, who was guiding you along the way? So your point about finding the purpose, that's it. That's your job.
And that's what we can help people with. And
100%.
That's how we can differentiate over, some of these commoditized solutions that are coming down the pike. They're already here.
The predominant economic offering has changed. Mm-hmm. It was commodities, then it was goods, like products, goods. Then it was services. Then it was experiences.
Yeah.
No, we're at this new thing, transformations.
Yeah, I think, when did that happen? Because I've been hearing about the experience economy now for years.
Right.
And now you say that we're in the transformation economy.
Correct.
So just talk a little bit about when did that shift happen? What does that shift mean? Give a little more color there.
Okay, that shift is happening now. So when Joe Pine and Jim Gilmore wrote The Experience Economy, which initially was an article in Harvard Business Review, and it really did really, really well. People were really turned on by it. I remember reading it. Then they published the Experience Economy book, which is exceptional, in 1999. And at the time they said, how did they phrase it? It was like, they said it was imminent or something like that. Like it's approaching. It's not here yet, but now it's on. So I would say today, I went to Joe wrote The Transformation Economy. Jim did not. It's just written by Joe, this one. And I went to the book launch 2 or 3 months ago in Minneapolis. So it's very new.
Same guys that wrote the other one.
Same guy, Joe Pine, yeah. Jim was not involved in the writing of this one. But those two lovely gentlemen still remain partners in a company called Strategic Horizons. But Joe wrote The Transformation Economy. So where it's coming from, it's very brand new, but it is happening right now, and it is showing up in businesses around the world. If you look, it's like, no, this is all about transformation. This is about an outcome. So it's
one of your favorites is Nike.
I'm into Nike.
Yeah.
Nike is a trend, and right now that's a really crazy thing to say because their stock is getting pounded. Yeah, they have they got all kinds of headwind right now. Doesn't matter. Every other company sells features and benefits. Nike sells just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nike allows for customization. You can make your own Nikes. You can make them look whatever you want, and Nike will get into retreats and all that kind of stuff. You'll go join Nike clinics and Nike retreats and all that crazy stuff. So transformation is it, and central to the theme is we stage encapsulated experiences, do a diagnosis of the client, et cetera, and lead them to that transformation. Now, the big question about all this, particularly for financial planning, is how the hell do you charge for that?
Yeah.
And here's the answer. I am working on it. And truthfully, I don't know. Because I can see this. I can see like a range where this client says, I don't want anything like that. I'm an engineer. I don't want anything like that.
Yeah.
I just want this. Okay, well, that person's going to pay for financial planning, and they're going to pay as little as they possibly can, and they don't care about the soft touch.
They don't want a transformation.
They don't care. They're going to do their own bag.
They don't know what they don't know.
They don't know what they don't know. And on the other end, there will be people bought in hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. And they will pay a premium to be a member of your community for what it makes them. Because they want to go and get together on a 90-day basis with you guys and a bunch of other people that are all guided by the same stars. That's what they want. And they'll pay for financial planning fees, plus they'll pay to belong to that.
Well, that's where you can fold in business marketing niching. You know, I don't think if practice has to cater to all types of people.
It shouldn't.
There's no shortage of traditional financial planners that will appeal to that traditional mindset.
Yeah.
You know, so what I think the exception is right now would be those financial planners that can engage in people in a transformational way. So that would be a good niching opportunity for advisors. Maybe they should hire, Dennis Mosley-Williams, strategic consulting.
You'd hate it. You'd hate it. Yeah. But that is it.
Yeah.
And then if you look, again, it's always the progression, right? So it's like, now go back to businesses. At one time, they were for everybody. Okay? Then we got niche, and even nichier. And that's where we are. I know down here in the States, you guys say niche. I'm from Canada, we say niche. It's a French word.
Yeah.
We want to keep everybody happy.
Yep.
So, but that is exactly it. And it's no longer, segmenting on assets. It's like psycho stuff. It's like, no, it's what we want. I work with people that want this. This is what they're looking for. This is what they're buying into.
Yeah.
The money is, I don't want to say an afterthought. The financial planning has been subsumed up into a larger offering.
Yeah.
And it's got to be, I work with one client and his niche market, ready for this? Retirees who frustrate their children. So I said, isn't that all of us?
I was going to say,
all of us, isn't it? He's like, no, like they're bad. They smoke. They shouldn't. They've got a heart condition. They're not supposed to travel, but they do. And they say to their children who are like, you shouldn't be going to France. Ben knows what to do.
So he specializes in communicating with those families.
He specializes in giving those people what they want. Exactly. But that's his bag. And when I get into like the psychodemographics, I guess, wow, that's interesting. And he said this, it was really cool. He goes, yeah. That was the example, he used my name. He goes, no, it's like their daughter says, you can't go to France. And they just look and say, Dennis knows what to do if I keel over Dad. Yeah. Like, he knows what to do. He'll call you, he'll deal with it. I'm going, okay? Yeah. So I said, wow, that's amazing. He goes, my clients have no trouble dying. So I said, all right. He goes, they don't like getting old. I said, okay. And he said, Dennis, they don't know what an app is, and it bugs them. Their grandkids are on their phone, they're talking about apps. They want to know what an app is. They don't want to get left behind. They don't want to think old. They want to be current and on top of it. That's his whole niche. So he only appeals to those folks.
Yeah.
That's it. You got to get.
So I imagine his meetings are more like, hey, this is what an app is, not necessarily.
That's right.
Like,
That's
hey,
true.
here's what your portfolio's done, and here's your Monte Carlo analysis.
The first time I ever visited his office, he has like sort of a garage kind of setup. It's very interesting. And when I went in, he was going to be having a client event, like not that night, but the next night. So they're all set up. And in the middle of the room, he had this particular kind of motorcycle. It's called a Ural, U-R-A-L. They make them in Russia. And they look like they're from the 1940s. They look like a World War II motorbike.
Yeah.
However, so it's a motorcycle. Every one of them has a sidecar. Okay? That's why they look like a World War II, you know?
Yeah.
So technically it has 3 wheels on it.
Yeah, the sidecar.
Okay. It's a 2-wheel drive motorbike. The wheel on the other, there's a reason I'm telling you all this. There's a wheel on the other side of the sidecar, so it's 2-wheel drive. It means the damn thing never gets stuck. So you can go online, URAL motorcycles. It looks like the Great Escape. Steve McQueen's going to jump one over a fence. You can see like, this is Dimitri so-and-so. He's the head of product design. We take him on a ride, and he's driving the damn thing through a river. Like underwater.
Yeah.
These things are crazy. And people that buy Ural motorcycles are nuts. They drive them in the winter. They're not going on a ride, they're going on an expedition. They're crazy. So I look at this motorcycle and go, what? This thing's amazing, antique. He goes, no, he tells me all about them, what I just told you. So I go, wow, are your clients also motorcyclists?
Yeah.
Like, how niche is this guy going?
Yeah.
He goes, no. But they find people who would do this fascinating.
Yeah.
And they want to know them. So the next night, I think it was the next night, they were having an event where if you look it up in your town, wherever you live, the name of your city, Ural motorcycle, you're going to find out you got a club you didn't even know was there of these crazy people. So he's like, no, they're like, the club is coming tomorrow, and they're just going to do a slideshow about their crazy motorcycle trips they do and where they go in the winter on a motorbike, like all this crazy stuff. He goes, no.
These must be Canadians.
Like none, this guy happens to be a Canadian. None of these people are going to ever own one of these. They just want to meet 2 guys that, who are you? So the advisors listening to your podcast, it's like, we talk about this podcast. Everybody should have a podcast like this. See, your clients are fascinating. Make your clients your guest speakers. You don't need to bring me in. Your clients are amazing. Your clients are interesting. Even people that are really into wine. It's the same thing with those cyclists.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What is it that turns you, like everybody likes a nice glass of wine.
Sure.
And then there's your collecting it. What's that all about? What is it about? Help me understand that. And other people find people like that interesting. And they sort of draw parallels to their own life.
Well, Dennis, this has been great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I feel very thankful for the amount of time you've invested today.
Thanks, man.
With the FPA and
pleasure.
just all this information. It's just so timely.
Lovely.
We're all panicking a little bit internally about the AI replacement.
Use AI to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do.
And that's the message. That's the message we're getting is use it to be helpful, learn how to transform our clients' lives.
Yes, there's a little, my final sort of thought on it. So back when I mostly just talked about experience, I'd explain something. Mm-hmm. If you eliminate something, but you don't replace it with anything, you haven't moved to experience. Most people think that experience is about just making stuff easier. Make it so they don't have to stand in line. Take away this, take away that. If you save your client 10 minutes, that's half the job. Now you need to replace that 10 minutes with something that's more meaningful and memorable. Yeah. So if you use AI, as I do, I don't create art with it. I use it for very technical things as I shared on stage. Nothing, if I write something, I wrote it. Mm-hmm. I've had people offer, I'll write your articles for you. It's like, I'm not going to publish them. If my name's on, I wrote the damn thing. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it goes. But if you save all kinds of time in your day-to-day, it's that now I'll use an hour. Do you know what you can do in an hour for your other clients to make them call you? Okay, thank you for that. I don't know where you got that. I don't know when you heard me say that. I can't believe how much attention you pay, but this showed up right on time. Thank you. That's why you use AI. The story with the cyclist, I was like, okay. It took me 4 minutes to come up with, as I said from stage, here's a 5-day itinerary for two people in their mid to late 50s. Assume they're not very athletic. They like drinking wine and eating. I need coffee breaks, vistas, and whatever. Go. And I get Susan in my office on the line. I go, here, let me show you what I'm doing. Share my screen, show her. She goes, that's incredible. I said, I literally did this with 3 prompts. If I wanted to make it gorgeous, I could. But I'm just trying to prove a point here in less than 4 minutes. Now I'm emailing all to them.
Yeah.
Don't worry about getting replaced by AI, but I want you to picture this as a scenario. The first time I wrote about this was when the superhero movies were new.
Oh.
Iron Man,
Okay.
the first one. I don't know how long ago that was, but it's a while.
I remember.
And I wrote a blog called The Age of Ultron, which of course nobody got, but I thought it was pretty clever. And I made the argument that life imitates art. And if you're familiar with the movies, Iron Man / Tony Stark / Robert Downey Jr., he's got this onboard computer named Jarvis. And Jarvis is everywhere. He's in his crime-fighting armor. He's in his house, his office, his car. That's what people want. We want what we create as art. We want that. We will all have digital assistants. It won't even be weird, okay? So imagine a scenario, my financial advisors out there in financial advisor land. The minute I can turn on a computer and there's an interface that looks and talks like a human, like you both use AI, I use AI, you use AI, brother? Okay, you all use AI at home? There's $1 million question. When you use AI, are you nice to it?
I am.
So am I, bro.
Thank you, please.
Thank you.
Why
please.
do you say please?
Do you ever say nice job? I do the same. Go, good work, nice job, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not real. Do you ever ask to do a real thing, a human thing? Hey, what do you think about this? We're Gen 1 here.
Yeah.
It's never going to replace me. This thing's 10 minutes old.
Yeah.
You should stop talking. So imagine a scenario. My daughter's 18. You think she's ever going to work with my financial advisor?
Probably not.
Do you want to meet him, Mel? So, okay. So can you imagine a scenario where you can sit down with something that's comfortable, that can talk to you, that has it all done, and gets into these questions with you, psychological questions? Okay, Dennis, let's figure something out about you. I'm going to ask you 25 questions. If you could do this, would you go up, would you down? What do you want to feel under your feet? Grass or sand? Do you want to answer this, answer that? Oh, it gets really interesting and into it, and it causes you to have cool conversations with your significant other, and then you're into it, and then go down to a scenario where it says, here's the money, here's the thing, here's the that. Would you like me to figure out 3 itineraries where you can go to Europe, budget, middle of the road, blow it all out, When you can log in and play in the sandbox of what your life could be, watch out. That is a powerful thing. Oh, and you're managing all my money for next to nothing. How long is it going to be before a company like Amazon offers to manage your money?
Oh, there's already companies doing it.
And what if they paid you for it? No, we don't actually charge you 1%.
Yeah.
We pay you 1%. What? You got $1 million? We're going to pay you we're going to give you $10,000 a year to manage your money with us. We're going to manage it all, and we're going to take a cut. Think about this. On everything you buy on Amazon. Oh, and by the way, we know everything you fantasize about. Literally everything you fantasize about. From things you'd never admit to you look at a lot of deck plans.
Yeah.
Would you like to build a deck?
They already do it. They advertise it. The second I talk about something in my real life, I'm seeing Facebook ads for it.
Okay, so how about this then? We know that you want a deck. Do you want a deck design? Do you want this? Okay, great. We found a guy named Ben. He's a deck builder. And here's the lumber, and they'll just take a cut on that. So they're managing your money, they're planning your life, and now they're going to sell you some plane tickets. They'll take a cut on that.
Yeah.
They'll sell you some lumber, take a cut on that. When Apple came out with a savings account, what?
Yeah,
Apple?
I remember that.
My iPod guy? Yeah, Steve Jobs. He's running your money from the digital beyond now. And what do they pay on that thing? It's like 4% or 4.5% or something?
Decent, yeah.
The hell are you telling me? Don't tell me what's not going to change based on what is today. Invent something better that's going. So right now, while you still got this connection, just this whole idea that you sit behind a desk and it works this way, forget about it. No. This is the opportunity. Money, shmoney. Anybody can manage it. It's not, and I'm borrowing this from someone else. I spoke at his conference virtually that was in South Africa. His name is Andy Hart. I'll be so embarrassed if I just got his name wrong. And the conference is called Humans Under Management.
Okay.
He's over in the UK. And I swear to God, I wrote an article a long time ago called Humans Under Management. But I'm going to let him have it. And that's it. It's not assets under management. That's nothing. It's humans under management. Who are you helping them become? That is it. Make them belong to your community. Your community is built around a really big idea. People have an identity there, rituals, gatherings, and an elaborate onboarding process so that when someone becomes your client, you don't celebrate, they do. This is the best thing we've ever done in our life. I mean, people go buy a car that's just going to cost them money. It's the dumbest thing in the world, and they literally celebrate it like a life achievement, which is great. I may have done it myself. It's hiring you should be the life achievement. Like, oh my God, we just made sure everything's going to be okay for generations because of him. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's awesome. I love the idea of being a life designer.
Yeah.
Right? In a sense, I just think that there's so much. We look at these plans on paper, and you guide people. Here's what your life is going to look like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And I just think being able to take it beyond the plan and the paper and ask some bigger questions that help people really center in on what's important to them. And I know we've talked a little bit about AI. I'm really of the belief that AI will get to know you maybe better than I can in some ways, but I also think humans look for humans for accountability.
They do. For now.
Yeah.
We're not our kids. Like, you guys are younger than me. I don't want to get into it. But my children, it's a different world, man. That's not, I got a little off into left field when I talk about Homo technicus.
Yeah.
It's like, no. We think we're Homo sapiens right now. No. Someone else 200 years from now is going to say, no. This was the beginning of Homo technicus.
Yeah.
We don't just use technology. We are technology. We couldn't live without it. My next thought is we got to turn these cameras off because it's too weird. I'll undermine all my credibility. But I'm convinced it's where it's going.
Well, this is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
For me,
thank you so much for taking all the
Great
time.
way to-
fun. It was
Great
fun.
way to cap off the first day of the conference.
Let's cap it off with shots. Come on.
All right. Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks,
Dennis.
boys. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much,
Dennis.
Dennis.
Cheers.
Opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Investing involves risks, including the potential loss of principal. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. Advisory services offered through National Wealth Management Group, LLC.